Today's self-rehab exercise, how to help hold your chiropractic adjustments and treatments for your sacroiliac pain using split squats. Hope you enjoy. So if you're looking for an exercise to help you hold your chiropractic adjustments to your sacroiliac joint, your chiropractic treatments, check out this exercise. It's a split squat. A split squat is performed with one foot forward, the other foot back, and the exercise is done by bending the knees and hips and allowing a vertical straight up and down motion. It's similar to a lunge, except you're not stepping back and forth. You're maintaining one leg forward and one leg back. Now the key to this exercise is that it has to be done asymmetrical for most sacroiliac problems. What I mean by that is we only want a certain leg forward and a certain leg back. We don't want to switch legs and perform it as the typical fitness split squat where we're developing ourselves symmetrically. We want to develop ourselves asymmetrically to restore balance. Now what I mean by that is most sacroiliac adjustments chiropractically affect the rotation of the innominate bones, our pelvic bones right and left. And there's basically two ways that we can adjust. There are variations on this, but two basic ways. One is restoring a pelvic bone that's rotated forward, known as an anterior innominate or an anterior and superior innominate. And the other is adjusting a innominate that has rotated backwards or posterior and inferior. Now you can ask your doctor of chiropractic which side of your sacroiliac joint is affected, anterior or posterior. Or you could do this test to figure it out. If you're not undergoing chiropractic manipulation and you want to try to help your sacroiliac pain, you could use this simple test. If you bend your legs by raising your hip or knees upwards and then backwards, you'll notice that you'll have a certain asymmetry. One side will typically move back further than another. It'll be easier to move it back. One side will feel just a bit restricted in its motion. The side that moves back further than the other typically is on the side that the pelvis has rotated anterior or superior, meaning the pelvic bone is rotated forward. And the reason that is because our hip flexor muscles and hip extensor muscles work with the pelvis rotating. As the leg goes back in the hip socket, the pelvis rotates that way. And over time, due to posture, muscle weaknesses, muscle imbalances, the fascial system and the muscular system that the fascia envelops holds the body in one position more than another. Think about it. If you're always sitting with one leg over the other, crossing it, if you're driving with one knee higher than another, or sitting during the day with one knee higher, sleeping with one knee further up towards your chest on your side, that side is going to get used to rotating in a forward position. And as a result, that pelvis is not going to want to rotate in a backwards or extended position, and your leg will not be able to go back as far. Now, the other way of looking at this analysis is from the flip side, with the knees being raised forward. If I can more easily raise one knee higher than another, it indicates that that pelvic bone is used to rotating in that direction. It's used to rotating posterior and inferior. And so the manipulation or the exercise needs to move that pelvis back the other way for normal alignment. Meaning that during a split squat, that's the leg that I want to have back. So let's clarify. If on one side I need a posterior inferior adjustment, meaning that the pelvis has rotated backwards, posterior inferior, and my doctor always adjusts me or manipulates me so that he's pushing it anterior, I need that leg on that side to be the rear leg, because by bringing the leg back, it's encouraging that correction of the posterior ilium. It's driving it or stretching it, the fascia and the muscles around it, into an anterior direction. That's the same side, remember, that would be restricted. You couldn't go back as far on that side during the leg test. Now conversely, if I have a problem where on that side of my pelvis I'm restricted in flexion, meaning that my knee just doesn't seem to raise as easily as the other side. It's restricted. It can't go quite as high. And my chiropractor is always adjusting me at the bottom of my pelvis. When he performs a sacroiliac adjustment, he's trying to restore flexion. He's trying to correct what's called an anterior superior malposition, and he's moving the pelvis in a posterior inferior direction. If that's the case, that side needs to be our forward side in the split squat. Because whether we're performing an anterior or posterior correction, we have aligned the pelvis in the correct way. Keep in mind, if your chiropractor is using sacro-occipital technique, or if you're receiving craniosacral technique, and there's some type of pelvic wedge set up, where your pelvis has a wedge lower down, laying either face up or face down, and the other wedge is higher up, that's the same treatment that's trying to correct this misalignment. It's pushing one pelvic bone backwards and another pelvic bone forward. So whichever side you need to drive forward or backward, think about that's the leg position. Forward leg positions help to drive our pelvis backwards, which is a correction. Backwards leg positions help to drive our pelvis forward, which is the correction. So once you know what your setup should be, you're always going to stick with that side during this corrective exercise. With one leg forward and one leg back, using a width that you can keep your balance on, but preferably it's a width that emulates good standing posture, which is the center of the thigh should be above the center of the knee and ankle, and that should remain as I split my contacts between the foot points on the floor. I'm going to use a straight up and down motion, taking about 2 or 3 seconds to go up and 2 or 3 seconds to go down. This is not a ballistic motion where you're quickly popping up and down. You don't need a lot of weight with this either, because this is a high repetition corrective exercise, meaning that through repetitions, high ones, 20, 30, 40, eventually 50 or 60 or 100, you're going to be stretching fascia and muscles in these two planes on both sides of your pelvis to create more of a balance. And after you do a set of this, whether it be 10 reps, 20, 30, although the more reps you do, the more of a corrective effect there'll be, you'll notice if you go back to your original testing, your knee up and your knee back, you'll have more symmetry between the motions, because this exercise helps to both stretch muscles, tendons, fascial linkages that hold your pelvis in a twisted or misaligned position. Now, there are a few essential training tips to keep in mind when using this exercise. The first is form. Make sure that when you're using this exercise, you're avoiding the typical tendency of having the back leg turn in external rotation, meaning that the toe starts to flare out and the heel flares in. You want to make sure that that back foot is kept in alignment, because otherwise, with that rotation, you're going to be developing tightness in the piriformis muscle, which can affect sacroiliac function. Besides having the lower extremities straight, you want to make sure that the lead knee avoids its tendency of driving forward over the toe. That's losing the whole stretch on the back side of the forward leg. By keeping the knee well behind the toe line as you perform this exercise, you get a much greater stretch in the muscular component of the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back muscles that attach to the pelvis, and all the fascial linkages in there. That's going to be an essential aspect of the corrective nature of this exercise. In terms of your training frequency, keep in mind that this exercise is not done to failure. If you're doing this exercise so you can only get 1 or 2 more reps, you're using it as a strengthening exercise. That's a whole different approach to using split squats in the gym. We want to perform this exercise so we can well do perhaps 2 or 3 times the amount of reps without fatiguing. So if you feel like you could only do 30 reps, stop at 10, but do it throughout the day. Perhaps 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, do 10 reps. When you do it, use that slow cadence and do it daily. The nature of this exercise is to undo the typical posture problems that you have and the movement problems that you have. That's going to help hold your chiropractic treatments. One of the main reasons patients don't hold their chiropractic treatments and require so many adjustments is that once they leave the office and they have good alignment, they go into body habits and posture and movement tendencies that only aggravate their problems. If you continue to sit with one leg forward or crossed, if you continue to sleep with one knee forward, if you continue to do things such as driving or desk work with one knee up versus the other, you're encouraging this pelvic misalignment all day long, affecting your sacroiliac function. So the idea is watch your posture movement through the day, try to be more symmetrical, avoid external rotation when you're walking and standing, avoid crossing your legs and having one leg higher than another, and pepper this exercise in 2, 3, 4 times a day with an easy amount of repetitions. When I stop, I should say, I could have easily done 2 to 3 times as many. So I'm not bringing it to fatigue. That way it's easy, it's not too stressful on the body, and the frequency of the movement is helping to encourage more balanced neuromusculoskeletal function. So plug this exercise into your self-rehab program and let me know how you make out. Questions or comments, write in. As always, I'll do my best to answer. Give me a thumbs up to help share this valuable information with others. Subscribe to the channel to get our latest videos. And remember, if you want to delve deeper into what your unique core muscle weaknesses are, your muscle imbalances, your stability issues, your posture and movement tendencies, and how they affect your low back pain, check out any of our healing low back exercise programs available at painfreeandfit.com.